It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Oh, hello everybody and welcome to day 250 of Rhys's stories. And today I'm going to be reading you about the author, and I'm also going to be starting Moany McMoan-The school tour, so I hope you enjoy it. About the author. Flannery is a first-time children's author, a proud Offaly man who is living in Dublin, married, with two boys aged 13 and 10, and this was published in 2017, so his children are a bit older now. They're 16 and 13. Ray is a detective Garda based in Dublin. Ray is also an underage GAA coach with St. Sylvester's GAA club in Malahide. His first book has recently had two very successful launches, firstly in Malahide and secondly in his native Banagher, County Offaly. Now, starting the school tour, Moany McMoan-The school tour, written and illustrated by Flannery. Chapter 1. Well, hello again. I've missed talking to you for the last while. I hope you enjoyed reading all about the big match. And also, more importantly, my super duper crime fighting skills, actually. Now, as I think about it, I am not sure which I should be prouder of. This whole being famous thing is crazy. The first few days. After that now, famous game were totally mental, and I really do mean mental. That Ryan fella, the one who does the toy show on the TV at Christmas, even rang my house to speak to me. Imagine me being on the radio and the whole country hearing all about what had happened. My parents spent their time going around the place, big silly grins on their faces, smiling away and waving at everybody. You would think that they were the town celebrities, and not me. Can't be having that now, can we? Must sit them down and have a chat with them. You know the type of chat they usually have with us kids. Think they need to realise just exactly who is the local hero. I reckon that they have finally gone completely doolally. Well, it's been almost a whole month since I imagined to become a local celebrity. After all the commotion due to both my amazing crime fighting skills together with my sporting prose. Do you know what? I am totally exhausted from the whole thing. I want to let you in on a little secret thought. Just promise that you won't tell anyone. Do you promise? Are you sure? Well, okay. Do you know that after the school final shenanigans, I went straight home and ran straight up to my bedroom to begin practicing my autograph. I tried about 5 different versions of it until I was happy with it. I didn't want to disappoint my huge army of fans now, did I? Turns out that there were absolutely no point in me practicing my autograph at all. The only person who actually bothered to ask me for my autograph was Wingy, and he hardly counts now, does he? The local newspaper did send out a reporter and a photographer to my house. I had to tell the whole story again about how I single-handedly caught the burglar while leading the school team to victory. At the same time, we even had to go to the school so that the photographer could take a photo of me holding up the cup. And they also managed to get a photo of Mr. O'Rourke holding on to his car. The other lads in the class started giving me a right good slagging about the whole thing, especially when Mrs. Strong passed a certain comment over the intercom. She thought the speak button was off, but unfortunately for me it was on. She was talking to some other staff member about how great it was to have a real life superhero in the school. Well, that was all the lads needed to hear. They all started drawing pictures of their favourite superhero, but they all decided to slightly alter the spelling of their characters. So I suddenly started to be called Supermoon, Batmoon, Spidermoon, Ironmoon, etc. You get the idea? I pretended to get annoyed about all the nicknames, but secretly I liked the idea and even had a few thoughts about designing my very own costume. Pete thought it was totally hilarious and kept calling me different names. Unfortunately for Pete, he happened to call me one of the names when he was standing a little bit too close to Mr. O'Rourke. He went quiet very quickly when Mr. O'Rourke told him that he should stop or else he would start calling him the Incredible Sulk. As he was only jealous because he wasn't a hero like me. Ever since I managed to help get Mr. O'Rourke's car back, I could simply do no wrong in his eyes. Just hope this last. It was brilliant for a while being back in school. I managed to get away with doing no homework for one whole week. I even succeeded in getting an occasional smile from Mrs. Strong. Now, I'm not sure if that is a good thing or not, Reckon I will have to think about that one for a while. She even started to do that weird thing grown-ups do. I'm sure your parents do it because I know mine definitely do. You know the way they mouth words to you without making any noise? She keeps saying, "Well done" to me. Well, kind of saying it to me. I thought that she had lost her voice. Pete Roberts realised that she hadn't, as he found out very quickly when she let a roar out of her at him for running on the corridor. I reckon every single person in the school heard it. Probably a few people on the street outside heard it too. The other good thing about being back was that it meant it was almost time for the school tours. I wonder where they will bring us this year. I hope it's better than some of the other tours that school have gone on. Mark told me about one where his class went to a local farm and one of the lads fell into the pigsty. He got covered in muck. The busman wouldn't let the poor lad back on the bus until one of the teachers had gone to a shop to get him a change of clothes. Hope we don't go there. I thought my celebrity statues would last for ages and ages, but unfortunately for me, it didn't. It wasn't too long before I found myself getting back into trouble yet again. Just like the good old days, even when it wasn't my fault. It never is my fault. It's just that I keep getting the blame. Take the other day, for example. There I was, just strolling home from school, minding my own business, listening to my old buddy whinging away about this, that and the other, when suddenly Pug ran past us. He shouted, "Run!" to us as he went past. Wingy and I just looked at each other. "What did he just say to us?" asked Wingy. "I think he said run." I replied, "No!" For Pete to encourage anyone to run meant something was wrong, and I mean very wrong. Just as Wingy was about to speak, we heard a woman shouting behind us. It was old Mrs. Small doing all the shouting. She was waving her walking stick at us. What we didn't know was that Pug had just thrown eggs at our windows and had run off. Unfortunately for me, this was about to be one of those times where being a local celebrity wasn't such a good thing. "You will hear about this, young McMoan," she roared. "You just wait until I speak to your parents. I know who you are. I saw your picture in the paper last week," she said. "Ah, not again. That is some way for a hero to behave," she said crossly. I tried to tell her that it wasn't me, but I couldn't speak. I just kept mumbling like a fool. I didn't do an tune. It was watch a him. Not me. As soon as I got into the house, I blurted out the whole story of what had just happened to Mum. I told her everything, that it was Pete, not me. Straight away I knew I was wasting my time, because Mum just stood there with her arms folded, moving her fingers up and down the way that grown-ups do when they are not impressed with you. I'm sure you all know exactly what I mean. Am I not right in thinking that Robert's boy lives at the other end of the town?" she asked. "Why would he be anywhere near Mrs. Small's house? Michael McMoan, do you think I was born yesterday? Do I look stupid?" In my head, I had an answer to that last question, but I thought if I say it out loud, I might be a teenager by the time I get to leave my room again. Also, I knew I was in big trouble again. Mom had used my full name. It was a dead giveaway. Every single time Mom had made up her mind, and nothing was going to change it. She didn't even bother to ring Mrs. McWinch to see if she knew anything. Lucky for Wingy, she didn't. He was far too cute. He never opened his mouth about what had happened, because he knew if he did, he would be in just about as much trouble as me. I think it's time I learned a lesson or two from Wingy about that kind of stuff. Dad was always waffling on about honesty is the best police. See, I don't think so. Come to think about it, what is a policy? Anyway, my fame had really backfired on me. Mom sent me straight around to Mrs. Small's house with a bucket and a sponge, and ordered me to wash all of Mrs. Small's windows. Pete had only thrown eggs at one, but now I had to clean them all. Seriously, Mom also gave me a note to give to Mrs. Small, telling Mrs. Small that I would do any odd job for her for a whole month as punishment. 1 whole month? Ah! It's just so unfair. From hero to zero in the blink of an eye. The end. I hope you enjoyed that. chapter 1, and tomorrow I'm going to be reading you chapter 2, and there's some hard words in that. And yes, so I better go now. And I guess I will see you all tomorrow for day 251 of Rhys's stories. So have a lovely weekend. And I'm going putting up my Christmas tree today. So bye everybody.